The pieces are all starting to come together. It's like a big puzzle we've been putting together here at Covert Radio for the last 5 years, 4 years. If you take a look at this screen, this video here was from about four years ago, from 2017. And it talks about another YouTuber being nothing more than a digital terrorist who was helping and is helping to this day, in my opinion, who is helping to force censorship. And the entire time that I've been looking into this guy for 4 or 5 years, it's more than apparent that, he's nothing more than a useful cog who has now, and people like him, there's thousands and tens of thousands of people like him who have helped usher in a whole level of censorship that is only seen if you're one of the people that are being censored, or you follow one of the people that have been censored or silenced or shut down, or what have you. It's un-American, it's unconstitutional, and these companies, these behavior modification companies like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, they all have a cloak of protection. And if you can't see the hypocrisy, if you can't see where this ship is being sent, it's critical for you to listen to Covert Radio and have your family, your friends listen to Covert Radio, because we've been on the mark. We've been on the on watch, and this isn't about money. This isn't about money. This is about control, and it's about tyranny. It's truly what it is. It's about fascism and communism. In this video 4 or 5 years ago, I said, prepare for full censorship like the world has yet to see. And it was people like this guy here who used YouTube to just say the most vile and foul, and you don't even know. If you're interested in things this entity has said on YouTube, I'll link a video in the description called "Shut Up, Tommy," and it's only a few minutes long, like 4 or 5 minutes long, and everything that you're going to hear on that video was taken directly off of YouTube. So that'll give you an idea. I just want to quickly go over this mass amount of censorship and now hypocrisy, and just to show you guys really how on the, how on target we are with what's happened and what's about to happen. The next 2 or 3 videos I do are going to be so critical that I'm actually sad that I have to do it, because I said, a little while ago when I was really distancing myself from all this, I seen it coming in the fall. Look at my channel. You'll see I hardly put anything out during the entire fall. I took a lot of time off to reflect and relax and almost maybe mentally prepare for what was about to happen, maybe shake my normalcy bias up a little bit. And I said that I wasn't going to come on and spread this fear of like, it's coming. But you know what, guys? It is coming. It really, truly is. And if we don't act, this isn't about talk anymore. This isn't about talking or being woke or whatever. This is about, we have to take action. And that means getting involved yourself politically, getting involved locally. Call your congressman, email them, let them know you know what's going on. And if you're displeased with what they're doing, let them know. And let them know you're also going to enlighten your friends and family. These people only have power and control because nobody else is taking it back. They only have this because it's been handed to them, literally handed to them. And what wasn't fully handed to them, they started taking. And that's where we're at now. And this is where real tyranny and control comes from, is when people start taking the power, like taking an election, taking information, taking your privacy, taking your rights, taking your guns, your ability to defend yourself and your family, taking your sanity. Because if this isn't hypocrisy, I don't know what is. You may see some familiar faces on this graphic here. You may not, but meet your local Republican insurrectionist. That's where this graphic comes from here. Meet your local Republican insurrectionist. Now, I'm predicting now, and I have for the last couple shows, I have mentioned this, that there will be no more Republican Party. The Republicans are done. They're done on multi-levels. They are literally in checkmate. Just about. They're in check right now, but they're going to be in checkmate very, very soon, because the demonization that has occurred in the last couple weeks and the continued persecution is not going to stop. And it's just going to keep going and going. And for months and months and months and months, they're going to continue to demonize. They're going to continue to persecute. While never holding that same lens to their actions, never looking in the mirror at what they have done and what they're doing. They have the control, they have the power, and now they're going to make you pay for it. Again, this is exactly what that caller David said, and I think I'm really going to put this on a soundbite, and I'm going to play it every show from here on out. It's only 30, 40 seconds, but I'm going to play it every show so everybody can hear what this guy had said. We don't want to work with you. It's meaning we don't want the fascists and the communists want nothing to do with the nationalists, the people who believe in America, the people who believe in the Constitution and sovereignty. They want to eliminate them. And there's more proof to that than proof that they're willing to work things out or share power. It's over. It is over. The Republicans are never going to come back from this. They're always going to have Trump used against them. They're always going to have, words like insurrectionist and un-American and terrorist thrown around. They are right now working on laws and executive orders to really start persecuting and, possibly imprisoning people who believe in America, who believe to their right to fight for their own freedom, who believe in the Constitution. This has been going on for a very long time. The demonization of the constitutionalists, the demonization of the right side, the demonization of people who love America, the people who love their freedom. The media has been used. It's under full control. And just like David said, we own the media. We now own the courts. We now own the machines. And now we own the presidency as well. So Biden he probably got a cramp in his 90-year-old hand. Executive order after executive order after. The guy we all know can't put together two sentences, but he's had all these executive orders just ready to go. Listen, this is the deep state again. They've just literally picked up, and I have proof of it. They literally just picked up where him and Obama left off. That's all that's happening. They are continuing exactly the same paragraph that they left off after their 8-year run. And I have proof of that. It's the same people. It's the same policies. It's the same viewpoints. Now they're just moving forward faster. The Republicans are done. They're going to continuously be devalued, demonized, and persecuted. And forever you hear Republican, you're going to have keywords associated with you like Trump, insurrectionist, terrorist, Nazi, white supremacist. That's what their media has been able to do. in the last 15 years or so, and really the last 10 strong. They've really been able to have these labels stick and brainwash a lot of dum-dums out there. And there are a lot of dum-dums right here in the sector that just are mouthpieces for this, communistic fascist system. And, they're going to make their few dollars here and there and live in a bigger house than you. But they are literally selling out millions of people. Millions and millions of people. And COVID will never stop until this agenda is either finished or it's finalized. That's it. Or close to it. Meet your local Republican insurrectionists. This was January the 22nd. At least 21 state and local Republican officials attended the January 6th rally in Washington, D.C. that turned into a violent riot, really. According to new HuffPost tally, many of whom are now under pressure to resign. Let's stop there. This is after almost an entire year of riots, really truly violent riots where many people got killed, where police were killed, where property in the billions of dollars was damaged, where people were hospitalized with broken bones and knocked out teeth and concussions. And those are the ones who made it through, not the ones that have been murdered, like the police, and burning down police stations, taking over entire city blocks. Not one word of that you see here. Not one word of that. It's the Republican insurrectionists that tried to overthrow America. Like if this isn't making you angry, then you better check your heartbeat and you better understand what's about to happen. Because if you think you're part of this, just by saying nothing or doing nothing, if you think you're part of it, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. They traveled from 16 different states, arriving for the Stop the Steal demonstration on the White House ellipse, where they watched President Donald Trump tell incendiary lies about having been robbed of the re-election. They're not incendiary lies. There is tons of proof for this. If the Supreme Court, David said, we own the courts, but if if the Supreme Court would have, allowed this case to move forward rapidly, if they would expedited it, all of that data would have came out. If supposedly now that they have, I've seen some of it, but there's people like Mike Lindell who has spent a couple $1 million of his own money to gather data from Dominion, all these other companies or whatever. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's valid. I'm just telling you what they say. And Mike Lindell also said that he was stonewalled at the White House prior to the inauguration, prior to everything that had happened. All data in arm, ready to show the attorneys at the White House or whoever basically would listen to him. Nobody cares. It's not that they don't care. There's nothing that... Listen, this is the plan, okay? That's what I've been trying to tell you guys. It's not that nobody cares. It's not that nobody this. It's the plan for us. That is the reality of it. This is the trajectory. It is going to be a cashless system. You will be on a fixed universal basic income. There really won't be any jobs other than small, mundane, barely livable wage jobs, feeding, cooking, cleaning, straightening shelves, stocking, just stupid little mundane jobs. And you people that are listening that may have, I have a good job, I work for this place. Okay, that's fine. A lot of those corporations and companies potentially will stay around, but a lot of them won't. They're going to continuously lose jobs in America, and we're going to continuously move forward to full automation. It's not going to stop because we are allowing it to happen. But if you think Trumpy, your Trumpy is going to stop it, he had 4 years to try to at least stop one of the things that is happening to this country. Nothing that I've seen personally. Nothing. Only 2 of those GOP officials appear to have breached the Capitol property itself. If you're a Republican official, is it really considered breaching the Capitol? I don't know. But see, again, there's no mention here, and we're going to get into this a little bit. There's no mention of everything that's happened through 2020 and the destruction of America, the destruction of property, the destruction of history, the destruction of, lives. There's no mention of that. People getting whipped in the head with bike locks and Molotov cocktails being thrown, bullets flying. Nothing in that article about that, because they own the media. And this is from the Grio. Trump paid Capitol rally organizers over $2.7 million. Let's pay attention here. The Trump campaign advisor denied reports that the campaign played a role in the January 6th rally. Then there was an investigator that looked into this, or a journalist, and said that the people involved in this rally or whatever on January the 6th were reimbursed $2.7 million. Again, here's the key words: the violent riots. I don't remember reading any article over the entire summer in any of the 9 or 10 cities that were on fire about violent riots. I don't remember reading any of that. I read how great it is, how peaceful it is, how loving and, how gracious communism is and fascism, and how in Capitol Hill, Oregon, everybody's just going to live together until, well, I think they made it a full month or 2 before the death came and the violence and the true potential of what communism really is. And anybody who can read a book could tell you that, yes, throughout all of history, communism never works. But if they were trying to hide this, they're doing a bad job, because this was actually filed with the Federal Election Commission. And, the receipts, who was paid, what they were paid. Maggie Mulvaney was the director of the finance operations for the Trump campaign and helped plan the event that led to last week's insurrection. Again, another key word, another 10-cent word: insurrection. Okay? Just like pandemic, insurrection. These are all 10-cent words that they're going to literally run into the ground. Since then, she's locked her Twitter account. According to the documents, 8 Trump campaign officials were listed on a permit that was issued by the National Park Service for the rally, including Maggie Mulvaney, niece of Mick Mulvaney. They were paid $138,000 until the 23rd by Trump's campaign. Well, they are campaign officials, they're event coordinators. Permits cost money. Logistics costs money, security costs money, toilets cost money, porta-johns, it all costs money. But they're those who control the media are trying to brainwash people into thinking this is all just crazy insurrection. I mean, these people came within inches of overthrowing the government. Here's what I want to get into. The Associated Press originally reported on the payments, noting that Wren was paid $20,000 a month between March and November. Wren, who was listed as a VIP advisor, and they're talking about the GOP fundraiser Caroline Wren. She was listed as the VIP advisor with all the permits that were listed with the Parks Foundation. She also served as the national finance consultant for Trump's re-election campaign. The largest recipient of funds, which came from both the campaign and joint fundraising committee, was Event Strategies, Inc., which was paid more than 1.7. So Event Strategies, which is what? Logistics, permits, porta-johns, security, water, this, fencing, that, traffic control. Like, there's so much that goes into, being responsible for staging an event, and because there's a lot of prerequisites and requirements. But here's where this gets just beyond maddening. Here we go with the idiot leftists that I'm genuinely thinking they must have brain damage, because I forgot my history, says Chip Franklin, who's a commentary or journalist with the InsideTheBeltway.com, whatever he is, an interview, I don't know. I forgot my history. What do we do to people who fund attacks on America? Yeah, he has a talk show hosted by Chip Franklin. He tweeted, "I forgot my history. What do we do to people who fund attacks on America?" Another one, Scott Dunsworth or whatever. "We arrest everyone involved." He's a journalist. Scott Dunsworth, or D. Workin, tweeted, "Arrest everyone involved." Where were you guys during the summer when there was police stations being burned down, when there was city blocks on fire, when there was federal property being destroyed? There were fire trucks. I played a clip of that the other night. The BLM, Antifa were stopping firemen from doing their job to help the community. Do you see the hypocrisy here? What do we do to people who fund attacks on America? Really? Like Soros, Steyer? This is RT. Soros and Steyer exposed as backers of a paramilitary left-wing group. This was uncovered by Project Veritas, an undercover video. Videos exposing left-wing organizers like Antifa. Project Veritas released footage claiming to show that the far-left Democrat activists were bragging about George Soros funding in all of their political connections. Tom Steyer, who unsuccessfully campaigned for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination in 2020, and liberal financier George Soros are both named as financial contributors in the new clip. The clip is on Refuse Fascism, an organization dedicated to removing President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence from office. Well, I mean, they obviously did that. There's no secret that Steyer, Soros, and many, many, many other people have poured literal billions of dollars into Antifa, BLM. It's no secret. There's even, there was one guy on the video talking about that there were also past employees of Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign who were involved in the group. T. Stern, head of the group's Atlanta chapter, is seen eating dinner with undercover Veritas reporters at another point and revealed the group received a grant from the controversial billionaire George Soros. Silicon Valley is also mentioned as a major source of income for the group. The same group, which is Antifa, who had a fight instructor tell the prospective rioters that, giving them ways to cause crippling pain. Practice the eye gouge. Project Veritas claims to have infiltrated Antifa. And it's going to expose its violent nature. Look on the Project Veritas page. They have videos of people going undercover, going into the training centers. These people learn martial arts, how to hurt somebody, maim somebody, blind somebody. The left has deployed a paramilitary. They literally have a paramilitary force on the street. It's not just Antifa, it's all other groups. Refuse fascism, Black Lives Matter, and on it goes, said Dinesh D'Souza. So, let me see here. I forgot my history. What do we do with people who fund attacks on America? What do we do with people who fund attacks on America? Arrest everyone involved. Arrest everyone involved. Here you go. This is the Washington Times. George Soros is indeed an enabler of U.S. street violence. It's not. This is the Washington Times. There is tons of data that shows the financial contributions by Soros and all the people who want to dismantle America and bring it under communism, under their control. Newt Gingrich, who was a Speaker of the House at one point, referred on air when he was on Fox News. This was back in the fall. He called George Soros, on the violence that has gone forth in the streets of mostly Democratic-controlled communities. This has all been a build-up to, the 20th, essentially, or you could say the 6th. But let's be clear, and let's stay clear on this. George Soros is indeed diddling in America's political and legal systems. And he's diddling and his diddling is indeed having a have-at-it effect on those who would take to the streets with bricks to express their frustrations with Donald Trump. This is no conspiracy theory. This is no tinfoil hat moment. This is a fact, a traceable, verifiable fact. And again, it really is not hard to trace and verify. Soros spent more than $2 million on 3 Commonwealth attorney races in Northern Virginia. See, that's what he does. And people like him, they continue, and that's why I keep saying we got to get involved. We got to get involved. Because these people are funding their foot soldiers. These people pay to get their pawns in the office. Just like Sheldon Adelson did with Trump. They call Sheldon Adelson the Kingmaker, who is a casino mogul billionaire from Israel, and he paid to get Trump into office. PAC funded by George Soros pumps nearly $1 million into local races for prosecutor. Soros tossed almost another $2 million into the Philadelphia district attorney race. He's helping the candidate choice, Larry Krasner, to actually win. And then he threw more behind other Pennsylvania candidates, too. Why is this problematic? Why is this problematic? Soros, this columnist wrote, has no connection to the Philadelphia area, yet he tried to manipulate the local political machine to his will with $1 million to get a Delco Democrat elected. It's what he does. It's how he spends his money. But buying or trying to buy political influence and buying and trying to buy political influence and political candidates. Between 2014 and 2019, George Soros spent around $17 million just on local law enforcement races around the country, including $2 million to stop the strictly conservative, strictly law and order sheriff Joe Arpaio, which was Arizona. Sheriff Joe Arpaio. But Maricopa County in Arizona, from, trying to get elected. These are not hidden willings and dealings. These are not hard to track, tough to discover campaign contributions. Here's the bottom line. Soros aims to transform the justice system by funding district attorney races. And, that way, when he's able to mold and get his foot soldiers in, these people right here, it says these leftist prosecutors, they think justice is about skin color first, alleged crime second. Then who is to prosecute the thuggish, violent street protesters? Who's to put the Antifa terrorists behind bars? Who's to reel in the Black Lives Matter radicals who are tossing Molotov cocktails? Nobody. Like it or not, the Soros money, this is Soros's money, this is Soros's influence at work. So the moral of the story is this. These people pay their millions and millions of dollars to get certain people elected that's going to follow a certain narrative, a leftist communist point of view, where, pretty little flowers can be the most beautiful women on the planet. All make-believe, all just crazy delusion. None of it is real. It's not reality. But these are the people that they're getting to change the laws. And again, Biden has done nothing but hit the ground running, continuing the same agenda that was ran for 8 years with him and Obama. And I'm talking about the Strong Cities initiative. We're back to defunding. It's actually, see, you could tell probably I'm not even really, I'm just so bummed, man. I'm just not, it's just so sad to me. I mean, because I don't know why you don't care. I don't know why you don't care. Bombshell, organization funding BLM Antifa terrorism is linked to the Biden campaign. This was back in September. George Soros often gets the blame for funding much of the agitation in our country that leads to chaos, looting, rioting for social justice. But two other individuals who also deserve blame are Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, both of whom are linked to an organization known as the Ford Foundation. And they're actively funding Black Lives Matter and the Antifa terrorism all across America. Claiming to be America's second largest private foundation, the Ford Foundation has thus far poured nearly $2 billion into groups that have stated goals of disrupting the systems to advance social justice. How don't you understand that these people are destroying what you believe to be your home? That are destroying the way of life that you grew up with? I said recently in another video that, this time in a year from now, we're going to be talking about, remember when we had the internet? Remember when there weren't rolling blackouts? Remember when there weren't the FEMA camps filled with people who believed in America? You think it's not a possibility, and it's right in front of our faces. Just like all of, remember when, 2020, remember back when we could go to football games? Remember when, we could do this or go to a concert or whatever? Remember when? We are never getting back to that in a very long time. This is behavioral modification from all aspects. And it's all leading to being chipped, being monitored, being controlled. That's what it's all leading to. And a digital currency. And I just don't understand why you guys don't care. Why you're not sharing this information, why you're not doing your own shows, why you're not trying to, network and get together. And I just don't get it. I mean, what do you think's going to happen to you? Look into communism. Look how it goes. Look at the Hunger Games. That is the perfect representation of what's about to happen. Do you believe you're part of the, the 1%, the 10%? There's plenty of them. There's plenty of them. But there's only so many seats at that table. And you do not have a seat. And I'm talking about people who are listening to me who might have great jobs, 80, 90,000 a year. It's all coming to an end. I'm Covert Radio. If you want to become a Patreon, please do. Really, I'm not, the next video that's going to be coming up, the next one or two, it's unbelievable. I need you guys to share this, get ready, hit the, hit the little bell so you can be notified when this next video comes up, because I'm going to connect a lot of dots. Do you want to know why they keep throwing the word around insurrection, insurrectionist? Do you want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. Just like what happened on 9/11, they had this whole new system of reality already ready to go. The Homeland Security, they had all these new funding for FEMA, all this and that, and they had just bill after executive order, after law, after executive order, after bill, after executive law, order, just chipping away, destroying, a lot of our freedoms and rights. Remember when people, remember back in like the 90s when we could, or when you could get on a plane or when you could go here or do this or say this, remember, you know what I mean? That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening again. But this time is the end game of all of it. This is the final stretch of all of it. Every horror story or tinfoil hat conspiracy you've heard or may have never heard, it all culminates to what's happening right now. And I'm going to tell you and show you why they keep using the word insurrection. There are millions of people that are going to be taken out, or they're going to be taken to a camp. And it's going to happen at 4 a.m. This is what, never mind. I'm not getting into it here. Just hit the notification. I'm going to blow you guys' minds with a lot of information and connect a lot of dots on this next video coming up. Share Covert Radio, become a Patreon. You guys take care. Have a good day.